Most people think that their Canada visas are refused because they had bad luck, or that the visa officers are just wicked, or maybe they didn't even review their applications. But that's not true. Now, here's one shocking truth. Tens of thousands of visas get refused every year, and most of the time, it's not because people don't qualify. It's because of small mistakes they didn't even know they made. Right here in my hand and on the screen, I have a real GCMS note. That's the officer's report showing exactly why someone's application was refused. In the GCMS note, you will see the details of why you were refused or why they are not convinced about your application. You never see these notes unless you request for them. But luckily, sometime in August of 2025, Canada has changed this, which means that anytime you get your refusal letter, you would see detailed report as to why you were refused. So there's no need to request a GCMS note anymore, except you want certain specific information about your application. Now, when I got this GCMS note and when I read it, I realized, wow, these are the same mistakes so many people are making right now without even knowing. So today, I'm going to break this note down for you in a simple way. I'll show you what went wrong in this case, and more importantly, how you can avoid the same errors when applying for your own Canada visa. Because let's be honest, applying for a visa is already stressful. The last thing you want is to get refused for something that you could easily have fixed. Okay? Now, what I'm going to explain applies to every kind of visa in Canada, not just the study visa. It applies to every kind. So you need to pay attention, take notes, and where it applies to the same kind of visa that they're applying to, you need to make the corrections. Now, as we can see, the first thing that the officer flagged in this GCMS note was money. They looked at the applicant's job offer, they looked at their pay slips and their bank statements. And what did they see? They saw that the applicant submitted salary slips showing the equivalent of only about $100 salary and savings that didn't match the money that they said they had. So right there, that was a red flag. Think about it this way. If you tell someone, I can afford to live in Canada for months, but your bank account shows very little money or it shows a lot of money without an explanation of the source of those funds, the officer won't believe your story. It just doesn't add up. The problem here wasn't that their account statement had a low amount. No. The bank statement also had bulk deposits. That's large amounts of money coming in without a clear source. Officers don't like that because it looks like the money was borrowed or staged just for the application. Remember that they want to see steady, reliable income and savings that prove that you can support yourself. So how do you fix this and avoid it completely? Show clear, steady income with proper pay slips. Don't just show one pay slip. Submit 6 months if you can. Add your tax returns or proof from your employer to back it up. Keep your savings in the account for months before you apply. Sudden big deposits without explanation looks suspicious. And if your spouse or your family is supporting you, include their income proof too, so that it's clear where the money is coming from. If you say that the source is savings from your salary, prove it. Prove that you have probably been saving this money for years. This is a very common mistake that people make. They think, oh, I'll just show whatever is in my account right now. But the officer wants to see a pattern. They want to be convinced that you are financially stable and you have been like that for several months. So I realize that many of you are watching my videos, but you have not subscribed to the channel yet. About 70% of you are yet to subscribe, and I'm wondering why. So today I'm going to ask you kindly to please click that subscribe button and join the family. It doesn't cost you anything and it takes only 1 second. So go ahead and click that button and let's go on with the video. Now for this applicant, money was only the first problem. The second problem was even worse because it's also tied to the funds. The officer looked at the purpose of the trip and the financial story and they did not match at all. Now let me explain. In this case, the applicant wanted to come to Canada to join their spouse who is studying in Canada. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. But here's where the big problem started. The officer said that the person did not prove that they could support themselves and their children because the applicant planned to travel with dependents. The rule is simple. If you want to join your spouse in Canada, you must show that you can take care of yourself and your kids without becoming a burden to Canada. But the GCMS note says the savings were too small, the income was too low, and the funds were not consistent. So the officer asked themselves a simple question: how will this family pay for rent, food, transport, school needs, winter clothes, and basic living costs with this level of income? The officer felt that there was a gap, so they refused the application. Now, how do you fix this? Show a clear monthly budget. Show real proof that you can support everyone coming with you. If your spouse in Canada will support you, include their income proof as well. Do not make it look like you will arrive in Canada and struggle from day one. Show Canada that you will not depend on government help for anything. Now let's go deeper into this GCMS note. The officer wrote that the account had multiple bulk deposits and the provenance is not well documented. That means that the officer could not tell where the money came from. This is a big red flag. The officer is thinking to themselves, did someone borrow money to make the account look good? Did they move money from different accounts without proof? Is this money even theirs? When money in your account increases suddenly, the officer starts to doubt everything. So even if your account has money, if the money does not have a story, Canada does not trust it. Now, how do you fix this? 1. Explain every big deposit. Explain it. Add receipts, invoices, or letters to prove where that money came from. Do not wait until the last minute to move funds to your account and then you can't explain it. You can save slowly over months and keep your account clean and natural. Your bank account must tell a simple story, not a confusing, complicated one, not one that looks like you staged it just for your visa application. If you feel that a 6-month bank statement or a 4-month bank statement will not tell your story enough, you can go as far as a 1-year bank statement. You need to go as far as possible. Now, also the business documents of this account was weak. The GCMS note also said that the applicant had a business registration from 2024 but limited proof of company performance and revenue. This means that the officer saw that the business is registered for sure, but the business does not show strong activity. There were no profit and loss statements, no tax filings, no contract documents, and no bank statements showing business income. So even though they showed the business certificate, the officer said to themselves, this does not prove that the business is running or making money. A business certificate alone is not enough. Now, how do you fix this? If you own a business, you need to show 6 to 12 months of business bank statements, proof of sales or contracts, receipts, business tax filings, profit and loss records, and anything to show that your business is real and it is active. If your business makes little money, be honest, but show the real numbers. The officer also mentioned that the spouse's tuition was funded by Empower Loan. Now, listen closely. There's nothing wrong with using Empower loans, but officers know that Empower loans are for students who cannot afford to pay full tuition upfront. So the officer asked themselves, if the spouse is already using a loan to study in Canada, who will support this entire family when they arrive? Where will the money come from? Again, the financial story did not match initially, or else the Empower loan would not even have been an issue. I feel that this officer is just mentioning it as information and not pointing it out, but that might not have a lot of effect on this particular refusal. But on the other hand, it may indicate that since the spouse in Canada is on a loan, the spouse that is coming to join them definitely needs to have money to take care of themselves and the children. So how do you fix this? If your spouse is studying with a loan, you need to show your own income clearly. Show savings that belong to you. Show proof of how you will support the family and explain your financial plan in a simple and clear way. Make it clear that you will not rely only on the student in Canada. In the GCMS note, the officer wrote something interesting. Applicant was requested to submit updated statement through my bank statement but was unable to provide by the due date. This is very important. Canada asked for an updated bank statement, but it was not sent on time. Now, when this happens, the officer has no choice but to refuse. They must make a decision based on the old information they have. That means that the officer did not see the updated proof that they needed, and this alone can cause a refusal. Note that Canada usually would ask for an MBS or the My Bank statement, which is your statement sent directly from your bank to the embassy. This way, you don't need to send a scanned bank statement, but you will just send them the passcode for them to be able to view the bank statement, and that is what was asked of this applicant. But they were unable to provide it for reasons best known to them. Now, how do you fix this? If RCC asks for more documents, submit them early. Double check your email and your profile regularly for updates. Ask for help if you are confused, and make sure that the documents that you are submitting are complete and clear and it meets the requirements that they have asked for. Missing a deadline can destroy your application. The officer also wrote something very, very important. Given that an open work permit does not guarantee employment in Canada, this is a strong point. Many people think that getting an open work permit means that you will find a job fast and support yourself, but Canada does not think that way. Officers know that the job market may be hard. They know that newcomers can take months before getting their first job. So they want to see enough money to support yourself even if you do not work immediately you get here. Now, how do you fix this? You need to show extra savings to cover 3 to 6 months of living. That's what the proof of funds is for anyway. Do not make it seem like you will depend only on your future job. Canada wants to see that you can survive the first few months without stress. Now, here's the final part of the GCMS notes. The officer said that they are not satisfied that the applicant can cover living expenses, that the applicant can cover travel costs, that the applicant can support their dependents in Canada, that the applicants will return back home at the end of their stay in Canada. This is the main reason for refusal in many cases that I have seen. In fact, I think that financial reasons are one of the most common reasons for visa refusals, and sometimes people even have more than enough funds in their account, but they make one of the mistakes that we just talked about today. Honestly, just having money or showing the amount of money is not enough. Canada officers want to see the history. They want to see the source of the funds. They want to see the funds are available and accessible to you, not just that the funds are there. So make sure that you show at least 6 months bank statement with history. Explain your purpose of travel clearly. Show strong ties to your home country. Prove that you can support yourself and your dependents. Do not rush your application. Fix everything before you submit a new application. A Canada visa approval is not about luck. It is not about hoping or praying or fasting. Those things will help after you have submitted a good application, and a good application is about having a good, clear story. Your documents must match your story. Your bank account must match your travel purpose. Your travel plan must make sense. Small mistakes can kill your entire application, but if you fix them, your chances of approval go up. If you're watching this and you've been refused a Canada visitor visa or any visa before and you want to share your story or ask questions, just leave them in the comments below. Someone might learn something from your own story and your own experience. And that's what we do here. We are here helping each other so that you can learn what to do and what not to do to be able to immigrate successfully to Canada. If you want me to break down another visa refusal or teach you how to write a strong statement of purpose, just tell me in the comments so that can guide my next video. I will gladly help. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.